Greetings and welcome once again to the Gaming Codex, the show where I try to explain to you all the various words and terms used to describe video games in the video games industry. And today's term is that of Battle Royale. And what exactly would that be? Well, according to a general definition, a Battle Royale game is a video game genre that blends the survival, exploration, and scavenging elements of a survival game with last man standing gameplay. Battle Royale games challenge a large number of players, starting with minimal equipment to search for weapons and armor and eliminate the other opponents, while avoiding being trapped outside of a shrinking, safe area, with the winner being the last competitor in the game. The name of the genre is taken from the 2000 Japanese film Battle Royale, which presents a similar theme of a last man standing competition in a shrinking play zone. In spite of what you may believe, this is not a new idea for video games. It's been done many times before, in very similar ways to what we have now. One of the most famous examples I can think of is Atomic Bomberman, which fits the description perfectly. Everybody starts out in a random place on the map. Everybody has really low powered bombs and only one. And as random stuff shows up, they collect more and more of them, gain power, eliminate each other, and eventually, if there's just too much time spent and not everybody's dead, the arena will start shrinking. But the more popular incarnation of it sort of started to show up once the Hunger Game movies began to roll out. Initially, it was something you could find mostly in mods, like the famous Minecraft Hunger Games mod, which was trying to do what the movies were doing. And then slowly it became something that a lot more games would try and implement in various ways. DayZ was an important part of this because its already established survival gameplay really lended itself to a Battle Royale style of game. And from that we would get mods that dealt exactly with that, some of them being made by people like Brandon Green, also known as PlayerUnknown, who later went on to collaborate with Daybreak, or Sony Online Entertainment as it used to be called, in order to create the King of the Kill mode for H1Z1. He then went on to work with Bluehole at creating PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, which was the game that really started the fire because it became quite popular quite quickly. Now there were a lot of other games of this type back then, even before PlayerUnknown's Battleground. One good example would be The Culling, which launched with a good idea, a lot of potential, and then it was instantly squandered. Then its developers announced The Culling 2, which was exactly like PUBG, and they shut it down a few days later, deciding, you know what, we're gonna try and actually make the first Culling a good game, which they probably still are doing right now. It's a very simple type of game to understand. You versus everybody else, or you and a friend, or three strangers versus everybody else. Every man for himself. Luck is an important factor in this game. Luck determines if you're gonna find a weapon, or if you're gonna find some attachment for a weapon you'll never have and then die because somebody beat you over the head with a frying pan. But it also takes skill. It takes you understanding how the mechanics work, how the players think, how the world operates. And in the case of Fortnite, it's also important for you to understand how you can quickly and effectively build yourself some cover or an advantage when the terrain itself will not help you. So what is the popular definition then? Well, there's two of them. One of them is, oh god, why is this everywhere? And there are other games that aren't Fortnite? Battle Royale is currently the most popular thing possible. Fortnite exploded once it added Battle Royale because it did so in a way that's easy to play, doesn't require a beefy computer, works from day one unlike PUBG did, and is approachable to children as well because it is not as realistically rendered in its violence. And because of its success, everyone is trying to make a Battle Royale game. Everybody has been trying to do so for quite some time. Ubisoft was one of the first companies to do so with the mode that shipped in one of the Division's DLC. Instead of making that a core part of the game, they made it as a DLC, so you had to pay twice to actually get to it. So it effectively meant that although it was a good idea and a good mode, nobody played it. They had to be 2 purchases deep already to gain access to it. And many other publishers followed suit. Call of Duty now has one. Battlefield will get an update with a Battle Royale mode. Counter-Strike itself, the primeval competitive FPS, has gotten a Battle Royale mode before some others. You would think that Overwatch would have gotten it first, or at least Team Fortress 2, but no, it was Counter-Strike. A game of the community that is so hell-bent on playing just Dust 2, forsaking even the game modes that Counter-Strike used to have back in the old days, has now gotten a mode so completely different from its core gameplay that some people just think it's there as an ARG, as a method of promoting or at least teasing some new announcement like Portal 3 or Half-Life 3 or both. I mean, the Borealis is offshore on the map, but I think it is. It's a conspiracy. The point of the matter is that Battle Royale is now extremely popular. It is the most popular genre currently on the market, or sub-genre, because it's a shooter still. It's a multiplayer shooter with building elements in the case of Fortnite. And not just on PCs or on consoles, but on mobile as well. It's inspired so many copycats on mobile that there are hundreds of millions of people playing them right now. Hundreds of millions. Numbers that make any kind of other game look like it is pointless to even try to make them in the face of those stupefying numbers. You kind of have to wonder, why isn't everybody making one? Well, they are. Everybody is making one, even for mobile, which leads us to the marketing definition. Get on this yesterday. Gaming companies were a bit slow to pick up on the trend. If they really wanted to have super duper success, they would have just made a Battle Royale mode quickly, even cheaply, and had it out in 2017. Like Ubisoft did. But unlike Ubisoft, they should have not put it behind 2 paywalls. One of them would have been enough. Unfortunately, because the industry is big and kind of slow and doesn't really pick up on trends until people already get tired of them, and they then run them into the ground and make you want those trends to never have existed. Not all the game modes, the Battle Royale game modes, are now available in the games that promised them. For example, Battlefield 5 still does not have its Battle Royale mode. It's gonna come in spring of next year. By that time, will Battle Royale still be the craze that it is now? Well, the industry is trying to maintain it, but eventually, like anything that was popular once, any genre, any subgenre, any theme, it will wane. And those people that have started developing big Battle Royale games that have not been able to get them out when the craze was at its high point, which is around this time, will feel like they waste a lot of time and money for nothing. So it's a bit like the crypto thing, but it'll also mean that, much like the crypto thing, those people will get shafted big time by the changing trends and may need to reevaluate their ability to function as a company, since, you know, developing a game that doesn't sell is a surefire way to not have a studio anymore. But hopefully, those who have seen the light are either very close to getting there already, or decided, you know what, maybe that's not a light, maybe that's fire and there's a devil there with a pitchfork and a cauldron all for me. So they're not going to do it anyway, which is something that a lot of people wish that most game developers would do, in the sense that they should not really make every game a Battle Royale game. So closes another edition of the Gaming Codex. Come back next time for a brand new subject. Goodbye.